Hey everybody, Sean here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Final Fantasy X HD Remaster, continuing our Dark Aeon guide. Today we are in part 6, covering the Dark Yojimbo fight. Same party as last time, Tidus, Waka, Riku. Make sure their stats are super high, make sure you have everyone's celestial weapons, and make sure you have everyone's ultimate armor. In this case, it's going to be something that has auto protect, auto haste, auto phoenix, and either ribbon or stone proof on everyone. So once you have that in order, I also highly recommend you have Auron with his celestial weapon fully maxed out, or someone with a weapon that has first strike on it. So once you're ready, you want to make sure that Riku has a full overdrive bar first. Once she does, you want to switch her out with whoever has the first strike weapon. So in this case, it's going to be Auron with his celestial weapon. And it's going to be here. I'm going to note that mixing is going to be a must for this fight. So the mixing ingredients you want to put at the top of your list, and you want to make sure you gather as many as you can, are going to be Lunar Curtains, Gambler Spirit, and Healing Springs. So make sure you put those at the top of your item list so you don't have to go fumble around your inventory later when you do start the fight. So we have the other two left over from previous fights since Hyper Mighty G is going to be a must, but we're going to throw in Healing Springs into the mix. Once you're ready, make sure you either fast travel to Mount Gagazet or the Calmlands. I think Mount Gagazet is a shorter walk, so whatever the case, you are basically heading towards the Cavern of the Stolen Faith, where we found Yojimbo in the first place. So just make sure you head over there. If you are going from the Gagazet entrance, just head backwards. If you're heading from the Calmlands, just cross the field across from the agency, and then just make it to the gorge between Gagazet and the Calmlands. Once you're here, make sure you take a dip under the bridge and then hang a left and then head into the cavern. Go all the way through the cavern until you get to the Room of the Faith. If you haven't gotten the little optional cutscene, you can take the time to do so. So just warp into Yojimbo's crib, and then once you are done talking to him, just backtrack. Once you head back through the cave, you are going to encounter a stranger and get a little cutscene, and then you are going to trigger the Yojimbo fight. Now this fight, like the Dark Ixion fight, is going to take place in multiple stages. For this, it's going to be a total of 5, so keep that in mind. This one is quite the endurance run. Now, first phase fight with Yojimbo. Very important that you did that step I outlined earlier. So make sure that you had Riku with a full overdrive bar, and you make sure you have whoever has the first strike weapon in your starting party. The reason for that is during your first fight with Yojimbo, he will always get an ambush, so he will always get the first attack unless you have someone with the first strike ability. So once you get your first turn, make sure you quickly switch out to Riku and then use her overdrive. Mix 2 healing springs together and you should put Ultra Null on everyone. The reason for this is it's going to put 5 times cheer on everyone. That stacked with auto protect will protect you in case Yojimbo throws out Wakazashi on his first turn, and the reason for that is Wakazashi will always kill you even if you have protect on, unless you have 5 times cheer. So the only way to put 5 times cheer on everyone in a single turn is to use Ultra Null All. After you manage to survive that initial phase of the fight, it is on to our basic strategy of spamming him with quick hits whenever we can, and whenever our overdrive bars are full, we are going to hit him really hard with overdrives. He actually doesn't have too much health, so the fights in it of themselves aren't hard. There's just a few of his attacks which will kill you if you're not prepared for it. So at this point of the fight, I highly recommend you start putting auto life on everyone. If not, make sure everyone stays at full health. And again, the reason for that is if he does throw a Wakazashi off, it will kill you unless you have full health on everyone, even stacked with auto protect and 5 times cheer on everyone. And in the case where he does kill someone and your 5 times cheer wears off, you might want to watch out for that as well. So make sure you have at least 5 times cheer on at least one person, because Wakazashi will mess you up. Other than that, just stick to our same strategy. Hit him hard and hit him quickly, and you should be able to take him down A-OK. As you can see, he is already in his weakened state since he doesn't have too much health. It's just some of his moves are really brutal if you don't buff for them right away. So it's at this phase of the fight, if you do manage to get a second overdrive with Riku, feel free to throw up a Hyper Mighty G. So Lunar Curtain plus Gambler Spirit. This will put auto life on everyone, which will also protect you against Wakazashi. Since this is the middle of the fight, we do have the extra time to put auto life on everyone. It's just that first Wakizashi that's real troublesome, since he always is going to get an ambush regardless of the fight. But as you can see, our auto life strategy, which we normally use, is also going to suffice in the middle of the fight. So once you get back into this rhythm, make sure you start throwing offense with Titus and Waka. Use Riku to heal everyone. Try your best to keep everyone at full health, and try to keep auto life on at least one person at all times. And whenever you can, make sure you try your best to keep the people who already have the 5 times cheer on them alive, because they are able to survive the Wakizashi when he does throw it off. In this initial fight, you don't have to worry about his overdrive quite just yet, since it charges so ridiculously slow. However, each preceding fight, his overdrive is going to charge quicker and quicker. So for this first fight, the only move that's going to really mess you up is Wakizashi, which once again, you should be able to prepare for, even though you can't telegraph it, since his attack patterns are semi-random. So just keep your people with 5 times cheer at as close to full health as you can, and make sure you take advantage of Auto Phoenix and Auto Life, and you should be able to defeat him even before he even gets the chance of thinking about throwing his overdrive off. Once he goes down, we just have to beat him another 4 times, so get ready for that. One cutscene and the monk running away later, we have control of our character. Go up to the save point. Now, it's very important. You cannot save between Yojimbo fights. However, you can touch the save sphere in order to heal yourself. So make sure you interact with the save sphere between fights. Heal yourself, and then make sure you hit cancel. Make sure you do not go to the save menu. The reason for that is it will reset your progress back to 0 fights. So after that, what you want to do is you want to continue down the cave until you hit the intersection. Monk Dude is going to come out of nowhere, and then we are going to start Yojimbo fight number 2. So, same strategy as before, but we don't have to worry about him ambushing us this time. So, if you want to, you can throw out Ultra No Law. Once again, this is to protect us against Wakizashi, and then we just stick to our quick hit strategy. So, it's going to be up to you if you want to put that or Hyper Mighty G up first. I recommend using both, so after I throw off my Ultra No Law, I like using Entrust to give Riku a second overdrive, and then having her throw up Hyper Mighty G. That way we have all of the positive buffs on all our characters, we have the 5 times cheer, and we have auto life on everyone. So once we have all that squared away, we can get to quick hit pinata-ing him to death. You kind of have to worry about the overdrive timing, since you can't really hit up random encounters between fights and try to build up your overdrive that way. So you kind of have to go into these fights with the notion that your overdrive bars aren't going to be necessarily full all of the time. As for the actual differences between each of the subsequent Yojimbo fights, the only thing that changes between the fights is how quickly his overdrive bar fills. It's going to fill slightly faster between each of the 5 fights. So with that in mind, if you do go into these fights with relatively high stats, you probably won't have to worry about his overdrive until fight 5 or so, and even when you get to that point, it's relatively easy to avoid. So as with that in mind, we are just going to stick to our quick hit pinata strategy. If you want to save your overdrives for the later fights, that's more than acceptable. Once again, he is going to be quite easy since he has relatively low health and his attacks are relatively easy to buff against, so make sure you take advantage of having the 2 Riku overdrives. But I recommend going in to every fight with at least 1 overdrive bar on someone, and that someone can always entrust their overdrive bar to Riku, so you can put up those buffs whenever you can. Honestly, the only attack that's really worrisome is Wakizashi, which is going to kill you if you don't have anything buffed at all. Once he goes down, the monk is going to run away back to the save point. Remember to touch the save sphere and cancel if you want your health back. Do not make a save. You don't want to lose your progress in doing so, so make sure you keep that in mind. After we hit up the save sphere and get all our stats back, we are going to have to find the 3rd fight. Continue down the cave until you get to the 2nd intersection. Once we're here, just follow the right path until you get to this little alcove. This is the place where we farm ton berries for the monster arena. So once you're here, you see the guy, he's in the corner, and he's going to catch his breath. Once he turns around, we are going to start fight number 3. So once again, same strategy as last time. Stick to our quick hit strategy. If you must, make sure you throw Entrust and entrust all your overdrive energy into Riku so she can throw out her overdrives. Remember to use the 2, Ultra Null All and Hyper Mighty G, and we should be more than prepared to deal with all of his attacks. Once again, we should be at the point where he shouldn't get to his overdrive if we constantly hit him and hit him hard. So stick to your quick hit strategy, and you should be able to get this done A-okay. So the only specific tip I have for this third fight is to make sure you don't use your overdrives and just stick to using quick hit. The reason for that is you want to go into fights 4 and 5 with as much overdrive bar as you can. So make sure you use this fight as kind of a filler. Make sure you fill up your overdrive bars, and then you can be more ready for the 4th and 5th fight. Because remember, you can't fill up your overdrive bars between the fights since random encounters are going to be turned off. So the monk is going to run away yet again, and yet again you can hit up the save point and make sure you get your health back, make sure you touch it and cancel, don't save, don't reset your progress, all that stuff. Head back towards the front of the cave, and right as you're about to leave that first open area, the monk's going to come back, and it's on to fight number 4. So same thing as before, start off the fights, make sure you use Riku's Mix Overdrive, mix the 2 healing springs together, throw up Ultra No-Law so you can get ready to ward off the oncoming Wakizashi if it comes. Make sure you use Entrust, give your overdrive to Riku, and then it is back to quick hit pinata-ing him. So once again, not too bad. You should be able to defeat him with him just about getting his overdrive. So as you can see, the first 4 fights, really easy peasy. This dude has such low health, he goes down rather quickly. So once he finally goes down, we have one more fight to go. Back to the save point, touch it and cancel. Make sure you don't save so you don't reset your progress, and then head back to the front of the cave. It is here where we are going to fight Yojimbo for the 5th and final time. Once again, his stats aren't going to change. The only thing that's going to change is his rate of overdrive filling. Alright, let's get started. So right off the bat, what you want to do is you want to make sure you get Riku to a full overdrive bar immediately. If she doesn't have one already, make sure you use Entrust with Titus and Waka, and you want to give all of your overdrive energy over to her. You basically want her to get a mix in as soon as possible so we could throw in that Ultra No-Law and we can avoid any oncoming Wakizashis. So take this first initial period in order to buff her up, and then once she has a full overdrive bar, mix the 2 healing springs and throw up Ultra No-Law. Once everyone is all buffed up, it is time to get to hitting. So make sure you get to quick hit pinata-ing him. Use your overdrives at this point. There is no fight after this anymore, so there's no reason to hold back. In case you are still curious about how his overdrive works, it is going to be Zanmato. It is going to work exactly like the regular Yojimbo. He is going to hit you with it. No matter your buffs, no matter your condition, it will insta-KO everyone. So you're probably wondering to yourself, how do you avoid this other than beating him really quickly? Well, that's where Aeon Sponging is going to come in handy. So if you ever notice that he is about the point where he has a full overdrive bar and it's going to go to his turn in the attack rotation, what you want to do is whoever's turn you are on, you want to switch out to Yuna, and then you want to have her summon an Aeon. Once you summon that Aeon, Yojimbo is going to get the next attack in the turn rotation. Whenever he has an attack on his turn rotation where he has a full overdrive bar, he will always use Zanmato. So the trick is to have him use Zanmato on an Aeon. That way the Aeon dies and takes the hit, and when it does die, your guys come back out and you can continue the fight since he used his overdrive and wasted it on the Aeon. And then you can just get back to quick hit pinata-ing him. At this point, even if he does get his overdrive off, he shouldn't be able to use more than 1 at this rate of the fight, so keep that in mind. But as you can see, with max stats, you are still able to beat him right before he throws his overdrive off. If you can go crazy, spam him with quick hit, use all your overdrives whenever possible, and basically beat him as quick as possible. But in the event that he is about to throw off an overdrive, make sure you take advantage of Aeon Sponging, and you should be able to beat him easy peasy. And that's going to be all 5 Yojimbo fights, and that's going to wrap it up for this part. Don't forget to check back soon next time, where we will cover the Dark Anima boss fight, and that's all there is to it.